Hopefully we're going to get through this. We understand
nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Problem with your signal, but we'll try to push through. Cori Bush camps out on the Capitol steps for a couple of days, and the White House flips policy. Is this proof that she really runs the White House?
No, look, I think she brought attention to a very important issue. They fought very hard to get billions of dollars for rent relief in the COVID relief package, and most of that money has gone unspent. Lots of Americans are facing eviction, as you just heard from your previous guest, and I think Congresswoman Bush did a great job drawing attention to that issue to the point where the White House acted on it. And look, what the president said might be true, but thank God he's willing to get caught trying, and it's going to save a lot of people from being put out on the streets.
You're a student of history and Democratic politics. When was the last time a couple of congressmen on either side, but on the far extreme of their party, in 4 days, convinced the White House to do a 180 on policy? I don't remember ever.
Well, look, I don't think this was a 180 on policy. President Biden signed the legislation.
President Biden said there is nothing we can do. It's illegal if we do it. They had a press conference in the press briefing room on Friday and said, we're done. We've looked at this 4 ways till Tuesday. There's nothing we could do. You've got the camp out over the weekend, and then suddenly on Tuesday you go, well, we're going to try to do something. How's that not a reversal?
You know what? Call it a reversal if you want.
Okay.
When you sign a piece of legislation that has billions of dollars available for rent relief that is not being spent because of mismanagement in the states primarily, I think the president had to do something. And I don't think this is a crazy 180. I think a lot of Americans are going to benefit from this, and the Congress voted for it.
No question there. This still was not enough, though, for some Democratic congressmen. Take a listen.
It is odd, I think, to raise issues about the constitutionality of your own executive action shortly before making that executive action. And this is what I mean when I talk about an empathy deficit. You can rest assured that every litigator now about to challenge this new moratorium will cite directly to the president's words.
Agree?
Hey, the congressman's not right. If I was a litigator and litigating that, I would cite the president's word. The beautiful thing about the courts, though, is they're slow. And perhaps because there's some delay now in getting people evicted, that money will catch up to the people who need it. So look, the president and Cori Bush and Chuck Schumer and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez bought millions of Americans time in their homes for that money to reach them. And let's pray and let's work to make sure that actually happens.
The president alluded to that. It's important to sort of talk about this in a larger sense, because in the weeds here, there are billions of dollars out there of federal money for rent relief. But as you point out, the bureaucracy that distributes that, which then would mean that folks who are behind on their rent aren't going to get kicked out because the landlords are made whole with this new money, simply hasn't been distributed. So there is a timing gap here. The Wall Street Journal editorial board dealt with it like this. The eviction ban has to end sometime. Tenants and landlords have to work it out, and better now than later. As we know, the most progressive folks in America would love to just simply cancel rent forever. When does Biden and the White House finally have to say enough's enough? Or do they?
I think when we're fully past this crisis with COVID-19 and when this money has been distributed and we're at a point where people could say, look, now's the time to be back at work. The economy is opened up again. COVID is under control. This money has been distributed. The machinery that gets it out there is in place. If you're not accessing it, that's on you. But we're not at that point yet.
Chris, we are at that point in terms of jobs. Nobody can hire people right now. Anybody who wants a job, you can get it, and you can get a $1,000 signing bonus at McDonald's.
Yet there are some people who are 10 months back on rent, a year back on rent, that need this rent relief to stay in their homes.
Yeah, that's
right? That doesn't mean that's not going to
point.
stop them from getting a job, I don't believe.
Fair point. Chris, always a good conversation.